If you're scaling your business, you will quickly realize there are 1,000 things you could be doing, but only a handful will help you grow fast. Your product and ops are important, but if you can't get in front of your target audience and make them care, forget it. You're f***ed. Marketing and distribution quite literally determine whether you live or die. AI has made the how-to easy. It can build funnels and design campaigns to a certain degree. So the how-to isn't the bottleneck. The real advantage sits underneath, in the layer most people ignore. I've spent 13 years building marketing systems that have generated millions in revenue, and here's what's made the biggest difference. Understanding the why behind what works, not just copying the what. By the end of this video, you will learn 3 core principles that help you sell almost anything, predict winners before you test them, and build systems that scale instead of one-off campaigns. The era of the creative marketer is ending, and the era of the marketing engineer is beginning. When everyone has access to the same tools, those who win are the ones who understand the psychology underneath the tactics. If we haven't met before, I'm Raoul Plickert. I've built a portfolio of marketing-related products to help you think like a marketing architect without years of trial and error. Marketing MBA, where we have trained more than 400 marketers and generated over 200 million in client revenue. And with Copecard, we have processed over 1.3 billion for digital education businesses across 4 continents. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 core areas. First, mindset, the mental models that let you see what others miss. Second, marketing fundamentals, the tested psychology and systems that make people buy. And third, engineering fundamentals, becoming the architect who built $10 million systems, not 10K campaigns. So here's the subpar marketer with the top 1%. Before we get into it, let me break down what you shouldn't do. The subpar marketer doesn't understand why things work. They can build a funnel or run ads, but they don't understand the belief systems or the identity shifts that determine every purchase decision. What this looks like: communication failure. They talk about features and benefits instead of identity and beliefs. They're tactical obsessed because they focus on posting more content or running more ads without understanding the psychology behind someone would care. And then copy-paste thinking. They copy what worked for someone else without understanding why it worked for that specific audience. On the other hand, a high-performing marketer sees the belief and identifies underneath buying decisions. They know what keeps their buyer up at 3 a.m. They design messages that speak to identity and build systems that get better over time. This is a shift the rest of the video is about. Moving from how to understanding the mental models to fundamentals and systems that sit underneath everything. Let's go to section 1. Mindset, the foundation everything builds on. The first principle is mindset. Without the right mental models, you will stay stuck in random testing instead of growing. We will look at 4 core habits: ownership, growth, creativity, and curiosity. Ownership. It's never the asset's fault. You simply designed something that did not match the way your customer think. Instead of thinking the ad didn't work, think about what you might have misunderstood about your target market and set time aside to research. When you own the outcome, every result becomes a lesson about psychology. Again, if the numbers are bad, look deeper into the beliefs, the timing, and the context. Growth. A fixed mindset is black and white. This works or doesn't work. A growth mindset is seeing every outcome as a data point to something better. Instead of jumping from tactic to tactic, you ask what the result is teaching you actually. Did you discover a message that creates resistance? Did you find an audience segment that responds better to a certain angle? This is what will help you learn fast from both your failures and wins. Next is creativity. Most marketers see creativity as copying what works for others with small tweaks. The top 1% treat creativity with precision, asking what works specifically for their audience's belief and psychology. It starts with understanding the inner world of the buyer. Once you know the fears, ambitions, and self-image, you can create messages and formats that feel custom-built for them, even if the structure is simple. The final mindset model is curiosity, going deeper and asking why something works for who and under which conditions. It will help you learn and become a better marketer across the board automatically. If an ad performs, you can break it down and assess whether it was a promise, proof, context, or timing that made it. If it flops, analyze and write down reasons about what went wrong. Develop curiosity about the layers underneath and become obsessed with human psychology. That's the TLDR. Next section is marketing fundamentals. Psychology. The fundamentals live in 2 domains: psychology and distribution. First of all is the customer understanding. Most marketers think they understand their ideal client because they know demographics. He is 32, lives in London, works in tech. That's a start, but it tells you very little about how he makes decisions. Austrian psychologist Alfred Adler pointed out that people often keep their problems because those problems serve a secret goal. Usually it is safety, comfort, or avoiding pressure. The problem is painful, but it protects them from something that feels even more uncomfortable. Your buyer does the same. On paper, they say they want growth, but in practice, they might be going for safety. An example: I'm not investing in this software because I want to avoid risk, so I stay skeptical and hold on to my cash. The marketer's job in this case is to sign a better goal and give them a new story that makes sense of that goal. Great marketing sells a new identity by installing a new goal. You can think of this as a teleological shift. In simple terms, giving the prospect a new end and goal and a story that makes a decision feel like a smart move, like their own idea. So here's what you have to do. Identify the old goal. First, you map the secret goal that is driving the choices. Maybe it's safety or comfort. You uncover this through real customer research. You listen to sales calls, read emails, review comments, and write down the phrases people use to justify staying where they are. Write that down as a simple formula. Because I want X, I behave like Y. Second is disrupt the meaning of the old goal. Next, you want to show that the current goal is not neutral and might even be the cause of their pain. You think you're being safe by waiting, but in reality you're guaranteeing stagnation. The skepticism that feels protective is the same skepticism that keeps you stuck. It's not about personal attacking. The aim is to help them recognize that their logic is producing the current reality. Now you provide the resonating teleology. You project a new, more compelling end state, a new final goal that is strong enough to compete with the old one. For instance, your goal is no longer safety, it's freedom. You create a clear gap between the current identity and the possible identity. Current state is someone who optimizes for protection. The desired state is someone who optimizes for capability and freedom. That gap needs to feel both honest and reachable. If it's too small, there is no energy. If it's too large, it feels fake. Then you assign the final goal. Once a new goal is set, you give them the logic that connects that goal to your offer across the whole journey. And here is where copywriting comes into play. Copywriting and knowing how to communicate with your ICP is everything. Because understanding psychological triggers at the deepest level, using words to shape and create an emotional response, is what matters most.